Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. I've got an awesome video for you today. I've got a video that I have been asked this time and time again. Are there people there that I'll be able to meet? Are there men there that I can meet? Are there women there I can meet? What's the dating scene like? Questions that fill some very important human needs, and that is love. It's love, it's acceptance, it is being able to have companionship. Those are all important things to us being human beings. But before I get to that, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and I know you want to be a part of it. It's fast, free, and easy to do. On the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little red box. Tap on it, and you're subscribed. And you'll know when our next video comes out. Also, go ahead and give us one of those thumbs up. That lets other people know that it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Now, I want to preface what I'm going to be sharing with you here to say that I am not a marriage counselor. I am not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. What I'm going to be sharing with you are experiences and things I did some research on to help me. So once again, I'm going to be very transparent for you. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've had enough people asking me about it. I don't know why I haven't done one sooner than this, but I think it's one that will be a real value to a lot of people. It might not be to you. You might be happily married. You might be happily single, not looking to have anybody in your life. If that's the case, this video won't be for you. But this video is for those folks that this is something in their life. They've gone through a traumatic experience. They've lost a love. They've lost a spouse. They've lost a partner. They've maybe been in a marriage and it's gone through divorce. And so I'm going to share with you some personal things that I hope can help you. So I used to do public speaking. I used to do motivational speaking. And I'm going to share something with you that I've shared with others before, and even in the seminar setting, that I want you to know why, in fact, I'm sharing this with you the way I am. I would take the audience, and in the front of the audience, I would have on the podium, I would have a clear glass of water filled all the way to the top. And I would ask the audience, can I pour any more water into this glass? And the answer always was no. I would take another glass from underneath the podium and I would bring a pitcher out. And what I would do is I would take the glass that's filled with water, dump it into the empty glass. The glass that was full is me. The glass that was empty is you. What I've simply done is taking experiences that I've had and I'm pouring them into you. That way, new experiences I get to live and share. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing some things with you, and I'm sharing them from the heart. I wear my heart on my sleeves, and so I'm going to share with you some things that not only did I read. I was in a marriage for 30 years. It was a terrible marriage. I look back, and there was so much drama and contention and frustration and anxiety, to the core. And it was bad enough that when I came out of that relationship, out of that marriage, and I'd sought help, I found out some things about myself I didn't know about before. And this is one of those things I want to share with you because I had to learn some things over. So without further ado, so I'm going to share with you some steps of some things that were shared with me that I think will actually be of help to you. The first thing is you've got to love yourself. You've got to love who you are. You've got to accept yourself. You can't compare yourself with other people, because here's what we do. We take our failures and we are measuring ourselves to somebody else's strengths. And you can't do that. It's not healthy to do that. We all have value. Being a believer, we were made in his image. We've all got value. Nobody has more value one over another. We're all human beings. So you want to compliment yourself. You want to congratulate yourself. You want to let yourself know that, yes, you went through an experience, but it isn't the end of the world. Do things that make you feel good. Do things that you really enjoy doing, things that make you happy. And when I did some reading into and really looked some things up, it was really funny. One of the things that it said was that we all have flaws and insecurities and body hangups. Wow, how true that is. All the magazines out there, Glamour magazine, GQ magazine, I couldn't name them all. There's way too many. The thing is you're getting those at the supermarket or at Walmart. You're looking at it, and we compare ourselves with other people. And that's why those magazines are big sellers, because it's a draw. It's something that each and every one of us want to have. We all want to feel like we have value to bring to somebody else. So when it comes to our past relationship, we have to learn from our past relationships that we've had and been through, and divorces and breakups teach us a lot of who we are, our strength. It teaches us what we're capable of, to withstand, to go through. And it lets us know the kind of person that we are and what we really want in our lives. So I know for a fact we're all wired differently. In fact, there's some of you that might be watching this says, you know what, I know this guy's talking about. I mean, this isn't me. And that's okay. I'd rather be real, honest, and sincere than I would just trying to put up a front. So we're all wired differently. Myself, I don't know what it is. Something that is in our society is we can feel something, but we're not supposed to share it. I was just with somebody today, and they were talking about the emotional depression that they were going through, about some issues. And I'm glad I was actually able to have compassion for someone that really needed to have compassion. So there's those of us that go through the experience and we just want to be alone. Now, that's not me, but there are those that go through whatever experience that may be and says, you know what? I'm not going to do that again. I'm done. There are those that make several tries at marriages. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Some people have been married 4 times. I think there's a lot of things that are attributed to that, but those are some folks in the situation. Some don't want to be married again. Some are like me. No matter how bad of a marriage it was, there was still that big hole in my heart that somebody had filled the space for 30 years. It was a terrible marriage. It was really a terrible marriage. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of things I endured. There's things I went through that I don't think that my ex-wife probably knew that I was going through. I didn't realize how much I needed help. But what ends up happening in the end, maybe my going through this has everything to do with being able to share it with others and let them know that you don't have to give up. I found out one day that my ex-wife of 30 years had been having an affair for about a year. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it the way I found out about it. My ex-wife, I dropped her off at LAX and she was flying to Hawaii to be with her sisters. That's what I thought. But she was actually going to Hawaii with this guy. Wow. And it was the kind of marriage that there was always the accusation of having infidelity, not being faithful. And I can tell you, I was faithful for 30 years. Very much so. So it comes to where you wonder if you can love again. So what I want to share with you are some things that I had to look at myself to really be able to help others. And here's the reason that I'm really wanting to go through this and share this with you, is because there's those of you that are looking at coming to Lake Chapala that would like some companionship, or you're looking for somebody in your life, or you would enjoy being married again. Just because somebody else isn't that way doesn't mean that you have to conform by anybody else's rules at all. It's your life. So something a friend of mine told me when I was in Albuquerque, and this is after I'd gone through my divorce, and that was to get into another relationship, I was going to have to kiss a lot of frogs. And I'm thinking to myself, what a terrible way to put that. I don't know. That was somebody's opinion. I can remember telling her I was not a very good frog kisser. I had that hole and I wanted so much to fill it with somebody. So I realized that I was going to have to put myself out there. Bottom line, I was going to have to put myself out there and go through some experiences, because I experienced relationship anxiety. I'll never forget the very first date that I had since my divorce. I was stiff like a board. I mean, all the anxiety and stress and concern and tense, and I had no other woman to really talk to except my mom. And so I asked her, says, do you think it'd be okay if I got a rose? Now remember, I'm in my 50s. I'm in my late 50s at this time. And I just remember that. Oh man, I was so nervous. I was concerned about what she was going to think. And I actually had started doing dating online. So that's how I pretty much were coming across these folks in Albuquerque. I was on Plenty of Fish. I was on eHarmony. That really messed me up. And Barbara and I met on OkCupid. So I know for a fact I probably scared some gals. I think I wanted to be loved so much that I scared people away. I scared gals away. Was not my intent. It's just who I am, and just that was just my psyche that was going on. So I want to encourage you, if this is you, you're coming to Lake Chapala, you'd like to find somebody to be in your life. Don't put yourself under pressure. There's really no need for it. And I'm going to give you some things there I think will be very helpful for you. Learn to figure out that finding love is a marathon. It isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. So I was on this Plenty of Fish, and I didn't have a job. And it was pretty amazing because the business I was in was all about prospecting people and encouraging people to be the best that they could be. And I realized that I didn't have a job, but it was almost like I was going to make dating my job. It was pretty interesting. So what I did was, went on Plenty of Fish, reached out to a lot of people. I mean, I can't tell you exact numbers. I'm talking 50, 60, 70, something like that. That started to where I started finding gals that had interest in going out. I had a lot of success, and it might have been that's what a lot of them had, were looking for a sugar daddy. I was not a sugar daddy. But instead of looking at a date as an opportunity to grill someone, keep it simple. There was a time where I went out on 20 dates in 20 days. Now, the dates, I had no money. So we weren't going to dinner and then a movie afterwards. No, these were over coffee. And sometimes it wasn't even over coffee. It was really weird trying to do this all over again after age of 56, 57. No, it was age, no, I take that back. This is in 2011. Barbara and I have been married now 8 years this year. So I was in my early 50s. What you want to do is you want to view each date as a chance to meeting somebody new. I already knew what I didn't want in my life, but it was finding somebody that I would really enjoy being with in life. You've got to picture dating as a test drive, test driving a car. You want to see if that's the model that you like. What was your past relationships like? You probably know some things that you did like and things you didn't like. So by meeting people, you find those that connect with you, or you with them. And I realized that, the majority of folks that are a part of the channel are not in their 20s. I'm talking to people that are in their 60s and 70s. And I really believe that love isn't an age thing. You don't put an age to dating and to loving. It has all to do with what's in your heart and what is it you're looking for. So picturing it as a test drive, what you like, what you don't like. And by doing this, it takes the pressure off of you. It isn't like, and I think that I felt when I was dating, it was almost like in my mind, this might be the one. This could be the one. And then I gave myself 110% towards my experiences. When you look at it as like a test drive, then it really prevents disappointments. It prevents them. There were dates I went out on over a period of months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, about 7 months. And by doing this, it gives you the space to enjoy not only what you love, but other people. It gives you the ability to be a bit more on the relaxed side. Believe me, I went through this and it was difficult. I'm not saying that what I'm sharing with you, you come to Lake Chapala, you're a divorcee, or you've lost a spouse and it's just easy. Believe me, I know it's not easy. Um, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. So dating should be fun. Dating should be enjoying the company of someone just to find out if the two of you have connections. It might be kids. It might be grandkids, great grandkids that are discussions. Um, but you never know. You never know. And I'm going to share with you some things I think that take place here at Lake Chapala that will be helpful for you when it comes to activities. This is a really important thing that I'm going to share with you right now, and I need to read this to you. I wrote this out. I came across these notes when I was going through some documents, and it might have been that because I'd never thought about doing a video about finding love and companionship at Lake Chapala. I wasn't thinking that we were all old fogies, but I realized I turn around and I look back and realize, well, I'm older than I was when I, when I was married and went through all the experiences. And today I married my soulmate. I love my wife. We have a great, great relationship. So no matter how disheartening you may feel after a so-so date, like all things, good dates come with those who are willing to persevere, to those that don't give up, to those that are willing to, okay, I'll date one more time. Okay, I'll do it again, no matter how bad it is. So it doesn't matter if you've been on 3 terrible dates and they were terrible matches. That's not the end of the world and not the reason to give up on dating. Barbara and I met. We met on something called OkCupid. And it turned out that when we got together, I'll never forget, I didn't really have much money at all. I can remember her having soup, and I think I just had a drink, Diet Coke. But the thing I remember is she laughed at all my jokes. It's pretty amazing. That really stuck with me when I left that date. How she was laughing at all the jokes. And the following evening, I was at work and I was supposed to go and meet with another gal, and she called and canceled. Well, there's a reason why that happened. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call that Barbara gal again. So we got together for our second date. And I saw that we were finishing each other's sentences. I saw that we saw things the same. And by the way, my first marriage, she was 15 years my senior, and we were together for 30 years. Beautiful, beautiful gal. There just were some issues and things that she needed help with that I didn't realize that's what needed to happen. But I look at it now, hindsight's always 20/20. But that never got taken care of. But Barbara and I have not been apart since our second date. As a matter of fact, we got married 2 months later. And this year will mark our 8th year of being married. And I got to tell you, I love my wife. I'm so grateful to be married. I'm so grateful to have someone in my life that values me, that confides in me, that shares with me, that bounces ideas off of me. Is it a bed of roses? No. There's still, she's 9 years my senior. I know people look at her and says, they always think I'm the older one. I don't know why. My first marriage was the same way too. Everybody everybody thought I was the older one. Didn't matter my first or second marriage, I was always the older one. So I'm going to draw this to a close here. What I want you to know, if you're looking at this, you're looking at moving to Lake Chapala, you're looking at retiring to here, you want to enjoy life. Yes, you want to make new friends and all, but you also would like to find love. If deep in your heart you'd like to find love, there's some things I can share with you. There is what's called the Lake Chapala Society. Now, the Lake Chapala Society is really a melting pot for expats. It's a place where there's all kinds of things there. There is the largest English-speaking library in Mexico. Isn't that something? Small little town, little place along a lake in Mexico. And we have the largest library, English-speaking library in Mexico. They host concerts. They host plays. There's games. There's social outings. There's seminars you can attend. There's classes. There's pottery. You can learn to paint. There's Spanish class. Concert after concert. A lot of things take place there. In fact, there's so much that takes place there. There's over 200 volunteers. 200 volunteers. And you know what? You could be a volunteer even. You can come and maybe that's the way you meet somebody. But that's a great place, the Lake Chapala Society. Also restaurants, churches. You can find people that you have an interest in. The things you can do on a date. I mean, you can sit in a park bench at the Malecon just looking over the lake and just talking. I just tell you, it isn't like you got to do something real expensive to enjoy somebody else's company or get to know them. But I will tell you, as long as you don't give up, you'll find somebody. As long as you don't give up, you'll find someone. There's a saying that I learned a long time ago from my dad, and it went, a winner never quits. So to win at love, never quit. And also, quitters never win. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Don't be somebody that you decide to quit dating because it could be that next person that changes your life. I've thought back, what if that person I was going to go out with that date, I went out on that date, I wouldn't have met Barbara the second time. Things happen for a reason. I'd like to be of encouragement to you that if you're coming here and finding love is something that's important to you, I really believe you can find it. There's 20, 25,000, 30,000 expats here in the low season and 50, 55, 60,000 in the high season. And there's a lot of single people here. So, friend, I hope that's been helpful for you. I was willing to be open and transparent to share some things with you, and I hope that really helps you. So, friend, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community. I know you want to be a part of it. It's fast, free, and easy to do. The bottom right-hand corner is a little red box. Tap on it, and you're subscribed. Go ahead and give us one of those thumbs up that lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala and finding love and companionship. Also, go ahead and stop by and say hi, ask a question, let us know of a video idea that you'd like to see, and make sure you hit the bell because you'll be immediately notified when our next video comes out and you don't want to miss our next video. So as always, thank you for being a support. Thank you for being a part of this channel and this community. Barbara and I really appreciate you, and Esme too, appreciate you for being a part of it. Have an awesome day. We'll see you at the next video.